Hi buddies, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are good, safe and blessed abundantly. My name is Nomalungelo Makubu and welcome to this amazing channel. We are all about lifestyle, Christianity, medicine and beauty. I hope that you will enjoy. In this video, I'm so excited because I'm going to be answering all your guys' questions, the ones that I've been receiving from your DMs whatsoever, and yeah. So I'm with this beautiful lady here. She will introduce herself. So basically, as you see by the title, we are going to be speaking about Bcmp, our different experiences in university. So let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiisetso Mashiloane and I am excited to be on your channel.
Okay, so she studied at Wits, right? And I went to UP. We both did the same degree, which is Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice, for those who don't know, or Clinical Associate, if, yeah, that's what they call us, right?
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to be saying what our experiences were in like the different varsities, and also what we did on first semester up until we graduated, right?
Yeah.
Firstly, before though, I wanted to ask you, how did you find out about Bcmp? Because that's a question that everyone asks me.
So I applied for medicine, accounting, and clinical medical practice because it was the closest thing to medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clinical medical practice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I applied for it. I didn't get accepted for medicine. I got accepted for accounting and clinical medical practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't so sure about my accounting because I didn't do accounting till like grade 9, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I went for clinical medical practice because it was just the closest thing to medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how I found out about it when I accepted the offer.
Okay. Well, you buddies know already that how I got into it, but if you didn't watch that video, I'll link it on the description box so that you guys can watch that video and get more information on what we did. So on us, our first year, right, first semester, very like the scariest time of my life, if I put it that way, because it's varsity first year, a lot of people, buses and everything.
Yeah.
So mine basically first year, first semester, the subject that we did was anatomy. I'm really not sure but it's about the codes, but I know that it had to do with 1/8 something. But we had anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, ELH, and we also had AIM. So ELH basically was English in medicine, which we did in the main campus, and AIM was like basically more about computers, like Microsoft, Excel, and those stuff. And then anatomy was like basically just like the basics of anatomy, right? And then physiology, was also like very much cool. And what's the other one that we did? Yeah, I think we only had like 5. Yeah, for you guys?
For us it was quite different. So it's kind of sad that you guys had modules. We didn't have any modules.
Is it?
So everything was integrated. So with VERT we have an integrated course. So we don't have like modules. So it means if you're doing like if you're doing the respiratory system, you're gonna start with biochemistry, mathematics, physics,
Wait,
anatomy,
biochemistry.
Yeah. So we do it per system.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're doing RESP, you're doing that system, you do everything for that system. So that includes physiology, anatomy, everything in that system.
So on your academic record now, the only thing that is, it's just one mark.
It's just one module.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for ours it was different. Like we had like different, as I say, for anatomy it was a different mark, and physiology and everything. So how was the first semester for you?
It was very difficult.
It
was very difficult because remember you're from high school. You used to just studying like 1 hour per subject. Now you have like 1 hour and it doesn't even cover the component that you wanna cover. So it was very difficult. We used to have classes from 8 until 4. You have a 1 hour lunch, obviously. So to me it was very boring because I felt like I was still in high school and like, why am I still in class from like 8 until 4?
Is it?
Yeah.
What did you expect though?
I expected to be in class for like 8 until I don't know 9:30, and then I'm free for like 3 hours and I have class at 4. Wow, those vibes, because that's what you hear other people talking about when they're in varsity. So yeah, it was quite boring for me because it wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. But yeah, I pushed through.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it was actually very nerve-wracking, especially
Yeah.
for anatomy, because we were doing like the study of bones, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I did not get what was happening in that class. Like, honestly, it's not. I think after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that's when I was like, oh, this is actually what we're doing and everything.
Yeah.
So first year was just like nerve-wracking, right? Because I didn't stay in rest. I didn't stay in rest, so it was like an outside accommodation. So I had to travel with like buses and everything, so I needed to wake
How far
up early.
was
it was 30 minutes. Wasn't that far. 30 minutes, 15 minutes.
Far.
No,
30 minutes.
It wasn't that far. No, not 30 minutes. It was, let me say 15 minutes.
Okay.
So then Wednesdays I was really happy because Wednesdays M and ELH was in the was in the main campus, and I stayed closest to the main campus, so it was like fine because I get to like come out early, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to second semester, right?
Yeah.
So what modules did you guys have in the second semester?
No modules at all. We didn't have modules throughout the degree. You did it by systems and by subjects or whatever. But it was never like a separate module to say, oh, now I'm attending physiology, now I'm attending anatomy. So that's why it was quite exhausting for me, because everything was just integrated into one. It was quite a lot.
Is it?
It was a lot.
Okay.
It was a lot.
So for us, I think maybe they put it like fine. What I forgot to mention is that we also had like CMP, right? So CMP was basically like clinical medical practice, where they were teaching us history taking, right? Like first year, the core, I think, if I can remember, is that history taking was like very important, right?
Same, yeah.
So also with us is that anatomy was like a whole year module, so it was broken up right into 185, I think 186. So if you fail anatomy, meaning you're failing the whole year, so you had to like pass anatomy, and then second semester we also carried on with those same subjects, but now the thing is we started going to the clinicals, right? So we started for CMP, we started going to clinicals first semester every day except for Wednesday, because Wednesday we had to go to the main campus, right, for aim and thingy. So we started going there, and then on second semester it was very like hectic now, like you need to get used to it, doing procedures, because you had like certain amount of you had a logbook, you need to do the certain procedure and everything. So that was the thing. And for CMP, right, also we had like OSCEs, right? So first semester we did have OSCEs, and the second semester we didn't. Well, we did have like OSCEs. Did you guys have OSCEs also?
With OSCEs in second semester, because the first semester you're still trying to get through everything, and then second semester that's when you go for, I think we had one day of one clinical rotation per week, but it was primarily healthcare, so we went to a clinic in Para. And we'd learn history taking there. Also with us, every CLC we had to be like in Gauteng, which was, we used Kalafong, Pretoria West, we also used Mamelodi, TDH, Tshwane District Hospital. We didn't use Steve Biko, so each and every learner was like placed there. But every year you needed like to change, right? So I think we basically did cover our first year. Is there anything that you wanted to add? Also in first year, in our first year we had what we call like TBLs, that is like theory-based learning. So that's where you take like all the stuff you learned in first semester, so onto second semester you take all the stuff you learned in first semester, and then you put them onto theory-based learning. So this is where you were introduced to cases, but this is like very simple cases. It'll depend on like what system you're learning. So if you're learning RESP, so they'll take you through a RESP case, because you're doing primary healthcare, like a 4-year-old who has a cough, and then how would you manage that? What questions would you ask the mother and stuff like that? So I think we did that in first year. That's part of that clip, the CMP, because everything that we covered from like what we learned in the hospital, then we need to like write tests about it and everything. And your anatomy was the worst, because it had spot tests, it has just a lot, and it was really, really, really draining. So let's move on to second year, right? So I didn't tell you guys, my first year I was in Pretoria West Hospital. That was one of my CLCs. Then for second year I chose Tembisa Hospital. So now the thing is, it's in
all around the provinces, if I call that way, because there is one, the CLCs in Mpumalanga, in KZN, in Durban. So nice. So now people needed to like move out, because what they say is that they want us to experience different CLCs and also working like in the rural areas, because most of the hospitals were actually in the rural areas.
Because we are meant for the rural areas.
Yes. So which was actually quite fun for other people, but I was really scared going out of Joburg. I was really scared. So I went to Tembisa Hospital. My second year was horrible. I don't want to lie to you. It was really horrible, because second year, the first semester, right? So what we did was, now there was no longer like those anatomy, physiology, ELH, so we only had like 2 modules now, which was pharmacology and CMP, right? So CMP is also another code, right? And pharmacology is also like another code. So most of our days we used to go to the hospital, right? So your life was just like hospital from 8 until 4, hospital. And then most of the time is that they used to set as a scope to say that in this first month you need to do like respiratory, in the second month you need to do like endocrinology, so like different things. And then at the end of the day, like we're gonna have like at the end of the term, that we're gonna have like OSCEs. Then when we do our OSCEs, then we incorporate like each and everything, right? And most of the thing, we also had what is those things, snaps. Also have snaps to present to the doctors.
What is snap?
It's like you finding a patient, then you diagnose that, you think what is wrong with the patient, diagnose the patient, what investigations you do.
So you present your case.
You literally like present your case, and then but you need to have all the information, all the diagnosis, all the medication and everything. So then they mark you according to that, right? Then also investigative studies, right? So we used to do that. And then so basically snaps, OSCEs, and pharmacology is what like it was like entitled to first year. Sorry, I keep saying first year. second year, first semester. And your first semester?
Our second year was quite fun. That's where it started being fun, because we were also sent out to the hospitals to do like rotations. We call them rotations. So you would do I think we have 6 rotations in a year, because we do like emergency medicine, internal medicine, surgery. So you do all of the rotations like inside the hospital, and you had to choose a hospital that was like outside of like your own area. But most of the time they didn't mind you like going, because I'm from Soweto, so they didn't mind me going to like a clinic or a hospital in Soweto, but they prefer that you go to like a place that you've never been to before and experience medicine in a different way, so that you don't have like familiar faces and you start being complacent. So it was quite the same. So you did your rotations, and in your rotations obviously everything is just integrated into that rotation. So if they're saying you're doing emergency medicine, we also had like a scope of what you had to cover, and then we had like electronic logbooks, so they gave you a tablet.
Oh, yours was electronic.
Fancy. Very funny. So we had electronic logbooks, and then so you'd see your patient. Let's say we also had hours that you had to complete. So they'd say like you have to do 12 hours extra of like your 9 to 4. So you'd work in those hospitals, do your hours, and you also had to attend to calls. Calls were very exciting because they were at night, and most of the doctors who were coming into the hospitals were not doctors that were working in those hospitals. So you're working with different people all together, and that was very exciting. I think second year and third year, when we started doing the actual medicine, that's when it got exciting for me.
So did you guys have practicals first year?
No, not really like practicals. It was just those TBLs. So if you wanna call them practicals, I guess, because that's where you have like, it's really based learning, but they give you cases. So it's sort of like a simulation of what you're gonna have like in second year, like in the actual rotations.
Oh yeah, we also had like hours to complete, but our logbook was
a paper.
No, it's not a paper. It's like a book of like different things that you needed to do. And then pretty much that was that. Also, second semester we had elective. So our elective period was like for 3 weeks. So you had to choose like your own clinic and everything. I think that was the most exciting thing with second year for me.
Yeah.
Because then I chose a clinic at home. We also needed to do like calls in a hospital, but like our hospital, they didn't have like call per se. So I just went there like during the day. But most of the time I was really in the clinic helping out and learning more. I think that's where I actually learned a lot, because you're basically in your own room with the patient and you need to work out the management plan. You need to do like you're on your own, right? And then that was quite like very much exciting. Then at the end you needed to do something like helping the youth, or like a project of your own. So, or like a problem solving thing, right, that you're gonna write about, like a report at the end of the elective. So what I did, I went to a high school and I spoke about contraceptives, and I spoke to grade 8 until grade 10. And that was pretty much very exciting. And then that was pretty much like the elective, what you had to do, because they stated things that what you needed to do, right? So I think that's it when it comes to second year. Is there anything that you want to add?
Well, we also had an elective, so you could choose
second year also.
So you could choose which rotation you want to do and at which hospital you wanted to do it.
Okay, I think that's nice, choosing for yourself where do I want to work, because and that's gonna be better.
What made it even more nice was that it was the last rotation of the year. So you've heard an experience of all the rotations. You know exactly which place you feel more comfortable with, and like enjoy being a part of that team. So it was exciting because you could be with people that you wanted to be with, instead of like being in like just a team. It's just not
okay. Also, second year was very hectic for some of the people that moved like to second year, because now if you failed anatomy in the first semester, then meaning you're failing the whole year. So you don't get to do like the second year and the second semester anatomy. Basically you need to like
repeat the whole year.
You need to repeat the whole year. So a lot of people like repeated, and it was really not nice, because now you're leaving your friends behind.
With us it was quite different. With us was quite lenient. I don't want to say lenient, but like they're more graceful. So if you didn't do well in like a rotation, they could hold it off until like, so let's say if I didn't do well in like second year emergency medicine, okay, I didn't do well, that's fine, I'll continue with all my rotations. I do third year, but at the end of third year I need to complete that module, that rotation that I didn't do well in. So it means you could still graduate in record time, or you could graduate maybe like 3 months or 6 months later.
For us, you are put behind the whole year. So I think you could carry on with CMP, going to the clinicals and everything. But what was the point? Because at the end of the day, you're still repeating in the following year, and you still need to do the whole of those modules, including the CMP. So that was not nice. So let's move on to third year, the final year. My word,
that was the most exciting one for me. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I hated being in class. I hated being in class. Just like, this is not medicine, this is not what I wanted. So I hated being in class. So when second year and third year came, I was very excited because I was out in the wilds living my best life.
Where in the wild?
No, I was in Kopanong. So again, you have to choose like rural.
So do you need to move now to another CLC, or you can stay in the same CLC?
So remember, you have to rotate.
Okay.
So, but you could stay in one CLC, but it was important for you to like have different experiences at different clinics or hospitals. You could do it, but it wasn't recommended that you do it, because it sort of like just hinders your learning, because you get too comfortable. You're working with the same people that you worked with the previous year. But you could do that.
Okay.
So third year was exciting for me. It was still clinicals, still rotations. So you're not really doing the same rotations you did last year. So you're doing other rotations like ortho, surgery. And you could do like specialized rotations, like you have emergency medicine, and then you have trauma. So you could separate them now. So others would go at bio and do trauma instead of emergency medicine. Some would go do emergency medicine instead of trauma. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For us, your third year was it was a lot. I don't want to lie, because you could choose either between rotation 1 and rotation 2, right?
Okay.
So rotation 1 included like what was it? It included mental health. For like they give you weeks. I think mental health was like 3 weeks. Then you had no. You had peds, and then you also had like women's health, right?
Okay.
So I think women's health was 8 weeks. Yeah. So first you choose what you want to do. Rotation or rotation 2. Rotation 2 was anesthesia, ortho, and chronic and infectious, which was chronic and infectious was a lot. It was like 12 weeks because it had all
it's like internal medicine altogether.
Yeah. So I chose rotation 1 firstly because I loved starting with like mental health and everything.
Yeah.
Also because it was new to us, because first year and second year we really didn't dwell much on it, because we didn't have like OSCEs for it, so you didn't like focus more on it. Then we had I did the rotation 1, which was amazing. I love mental health. And then we're coming to peds. It was okay. Women's health also was okay, but I ended up like doing sub for it, which I would like.
Was women's health like divided into obstetrics and gynecology?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In that 4 weeks, you needed to do obs, you needed to do gynecology, but you like you will change around. They don't tell you this week do this, but like you will just like.
But it had to be like the same amount of time.
It's the same amount of time. Also covering the same the procedures that you needed to do in your logbook. So that's pretty much it. Then we had OSCEs obviously at the end of that term. Then luckily fine, was good. Then second semester is when we had the rotation 2. Then you have your national exam, right? That would mean you need to go back to your first rotation and then do everything there. So that was like the most challenging part. But even though in our academic record it does say like peds you get the mark,
really
women's health you get the mark, peds you get the mark, so for everything you really like get the mark.
So it shows in your
yes. It does. But the not nice thing is that isn't it for women's health, right? I did like a special exam. So I wrote the supplementary and I failed the supplementary. Did the special exam, then obviously I passed the special exam. But the thing is, it does write if they go to special exam. So it's like not nice.
Why?
But then that was it actually with like third year, the final lab. I want us now to touch on the materials that you guys use. What materials did you guys use?
So we used because I said like our course was like more integrated, so we used like different books. So we used like Marie for physiology and anatomy, and then use McLeod for your clinicals. But you also have like these little handbooks that they give in the hospitals you have to do, and you also have guidelines that you also have to incorporate into your studies. So a lot of our material is not like very textbook based. Like obviously anatomy and physiology have to be textbook based, but like your clinical work is like very much based on the guidelines. So we use like National Department of Health guidelines for like if you're doing emergency medicine, you'd use those. We have the emergency medicine booklet. I don't know if you guys use the same one.
Oh yeah, that
the blue and whites.
Okay, no,
booklet.
we had the gray and red one.
No. Yeah, but it's just guidelines. It's just guidelines.
Okay. So we had for first year we had like anatomy books, which is the Atlas of Human Anatomy, and then we also
didn't use
like,
Grays.
Yeah, we did use Grays, but it didn't like help a lot. I don't know.
We used a bit of Grays. I didn't understand why they didn't like it completely.
Yeah, so no, we did. At the end of the day, they did specify which books like will have the recommended books. So obviously, if you wanted to get like extra, then it's fine. You can like get extra. Okay. But also, then for physiology, we did I'll link the books on the. I'll just put a picture of the books. Then for physiology, it was Introduction to Physiology. The most important book for CMP was Bates. Did you guys use Bates?
No.
Bates was really our Bible. Oh my gosh, they used to tell us like you must have your Bates, because Bates included everything from like teaching you and also the practical, right? It will help you a lot when it comes to your OSCEs, because we prepared OSCEs based on base, and also we had the practice manual, the green book, the big one.
Also at one.
Yeah, so that one also helped. Then you carry on with those up until you finish, really. Because then for pharmacology there was also another book, but for pharmacology I don't want to lie to you, I never used that book. I just used like the guidelines.
There was a recommended book for pharmacology, I remember, but I never even bought that book. And I survived quite well without it.
Is it?
So textbooks are expensive, that's the thing. Yeah. So you want to, survive as much as you can without it.
Yeah, and you can also get like second-hand textbooks, so it doesn't really matter. Then for third year, obviously you needed to have like a lot of books, because now you had to have like the peds one, the maternal
pocket
one.
books.
Like a lot of them. So that's what the material that we use. So I want to ask you, would you like, what skills or what kind of a character must you have if you want to study Bcmp?
The thing about it is you don't work alone when you're studying Bcmp. Most of the time you're in the hospital and you're working with nurses. So you must be very resilient. You must be very resilient. Resilience is one thing that's going to take you far. And you also want to be able to make friendships and relationships with people who are not studying the same course as you. You want to be able to, socialize with these people, because these people help you during exams. Because when I was studying pharmacology, I didn't study pharmacology for the whole year, because I was just like, I'll do it. And then when it was time for me to study, I needed someone who did pharmacy to help me out. And that relationship was quite helpful, because if it had not been for that girl, I don't know, I probably would have just had to sub pharmacology. Because like this, you create relationships, and these are the relationships that are going to help you throughout like your course. So create good relationships with people who are not studying the same degree as you, but within the health sciences faculty. And know how to be nice to like people, especially nurses, because those people will make your life miserable. If you mess up with one nurse, the whole unit.
Had a quarrel with any nurse.
No, I have. I've had a few.
I loved working with doctors the most. But also I think it's because they incorporated us in everything that we did. They used to teach us, they used to ask us questions and everything.
Those are your main people.
Yeah, so we were like mostly close to them. So I think also you must be willing to work anywhere, and also be willing to work like rurals, because obviously that's what the program was based on. See, another one asked me, Guti, where can you work after Bcmp, after completing your degree?
So it depends on what you like. If you like clinical work, then like your GP practices are where you're gonna be at most of the time. If you like clinical work, so there's GPs who hire clinical associates to run their practices, and if you like clinical work, that's for you. Or you can do hospital, government, not so nice, but you can go there if you like the experience.
Have you worked in a government?
No, never, darling. I'm not going there.
I also haven't.
So if you like clinical work, government and GP practices are where you want to be. But if you're into research, then your ANOVAs, all those research companies are just going to be the places that you're going to be comfortable and more, stable in. It really depends on what you like. If you like doing procedures, and you find out as you study, I think I like this, I think I like that. And even when you go look out for a job, you look for those things that are gonna make you happy. So it depends on what you like.
I think it's
whatever
true.
you want to do, it's possible.
I think it's very much true when you say it depends. When you work, then you get to know what you like. Because I got to learn that I love psych a lot, and I love peds a lot. So I think that's why I'm gonna venture in anytime soon.
Psych.
And then someone asked me, after completing Bcmp, can you study medicine?
If you study at Wits, you cannot study medicine directly. You cannot. Wits tells you directly, which like if you're gonna take into medicine, then what's the point of producing clinical associates? Because we want clinical associates. If you want we also have a medical school for doctors, so we have both for a reason. We're not trying to get one into one. They tell you directly. Because I remember I went to the dean's office to say, I don't think I like this course. I want to go more into medicine. And just like, then you have to try somewhere else. This is not gonna take you.
Is it? So even though you like finish the degree and everything, you apply, then
if you wanna go in, you wanna do it at Wits, you have to do what do they call it? The Bcmp program, and you have to do physics, maths all over again, and then the chances of you getting into that program are even guaranteed, because there's people who did Bachelor of Sciences from first year, and so it's, if you can do medicine, but not from Wits if you're from Wits. And then you can do it at UP. I know UP, but if you're from Wits, you're not gonna go into medicine directly. You have to do those courses because they do consider modules for you to.
But can you think is, I guess when you write that GMPD, right? Because if you pass and you get, you go to third year. Yeah. But can you not like start afresh, like you apply Vele from scratch with your degree?
Not with the degree, with the matric results.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So for UP, you can. It's like the internal application part.
So I can apply at UP.
Yes, you can apply at UP. But the problem is, it depends within your module. So the thing is, the more modules you have, the more score. I don't know what that score is, but the thing is, what sabotaged us is that we have like little modules, because I can see first year you're only gonna have like 8 modules. 8 modules somewhere there, and then for second year you're gonna have like 2 modules, right? So for third year you're gonna have a lot, but there's this score that you need to have, right? So I think that's gonna sabotage you. But also I've seen a lot of, not a lot, but
quite a few.
Few that from UP that go straight into medicine.
Oh wow.
Wusu, they're having it great, man.
Wusu.
They're really having it great.
Wusu goes straight into medicine.
In UP, like UP takes them like so you can actually study medicine, but just that you need to be willing to start like from first year and then
from the bottom.
Start from the bottom. I think that's it about Bcmp. I'm really not gonna go into the salary wise and everything, because it differs actually, because what you're gonna get in government is not the same as you're gonna get in like private. So like it's just,
and you decide how much you wanna earn.
Also when locums and everything, because you can negotiate for yourself, right? And also it counts, experience counts a lot also. But I think that's it about Bcmp. I don't know, do you want to add anything about Bcmp overall?
No, I think that's it. I think we've covered most of the stuff.
I think like this is really the last video I'm gonna do about Bcmp, because I've been getting DMs about it, and I think we covered everything, right? So what I forgot to mention is that throughout your years, do you guys wear scraps? Is it compulsory for you guys to wear scraps?
While you're doing your clinical rotations.
Also the stethoscope and everything, do you buy it yourself or Wits gives you?
You buy it.
Oh, is it? It's expensive,
It depends on the quality I get. So if you want entry level stethoscope, you can get one for like 700. But if you want like Littman, goes for like 3K.
I think for us the only the only brand was Littman for us.
Really?
They never introduced us to other brands. The only one I know is Littman. Literally.
No, I know. Because when I first started, I didn't have money for Littman until I got a sponsor. So the first stethoscope I got was not a Littman. It was a stethoscope.
Okay.
Yeah, it did the job. Yeah. But
so every equipment you literally buy it yourself, and it's very expensive, so you just need to be prepared for that. Also the scrubs we buy it from school, from UP. I don't know if you guys buy it also.
We buy it from UP, but they get it from Tank.
Is it? Oh nice. No, we had like a bookmark, so the bookmark does it and everything. So thank you buddies for watching. I hope that you will like, comment and subscribe, and thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.